Hello everyone. I'm Li Side from Team One, and hello Professor Doris, hello peers. Because Chelsea Chu has been to England and Becca was not in Savannah, so I represent our group to present this presentation. Okay. First, I want to introduce why we want to use the sustainable fashion as our final project topic. In the 1990s, you can see humankind first faced like the global warming and know the climate change will lead to a very serious problem for our next generation. So back to the fashion industry part, we need to rethink what can we do as an industry to change or help our environment. So um, nowadays, many fashion companies prefer to use eco-friendly material or producing social responsible way as their sustainable way to produce their product. And according to the SPLH, one organization, they accounted that 8,000 chemicals are used to turn raw material into textile, and this causes very irreversible damage to people and our environment. And most raw material company the company use the most raw material is like the luxury brands such as Bottega Veneta, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Kering Group, or LVMH. These brands release so many with their products every season, every year. So they are the biggest polluted company in the fashion world. So as you can see, they still have some different designer or brands devoted to sustainable fashion, such as Stella McCartney use the many recycled material on their product. You can see usually use like organic cotton, organic silk, and we will discard in after part. And usually many fashion week not focus on the sustainable fashion. However, the fashion week in Portland focus on the sustainable fashion. They will award the many young designer who devoted to sustainable fashion. They will reward them, and yeah, and you can see Lucy Timmon is also dedicated to deliver organic cotton on their wedding dress or their dresses. Yeah, you hope they can make the clothes become more um, sustainable and eco-friendly. Yeah, and as the industrial part, many brands from high-end brand to fast fashion brand are started to change into the sustainable business model. Um, as you can see, H&M has begun to they release a statement say they said they have begun to eliminate toxic chemicals from their supply chain as part of the Greenpeace Detox My Fashion campaign. So this is a very special campaign focused on the sustainable fashion. Yep, and also they can supervise their H&M whether they stick to their statement. Yeah, and the other biggest fast fashion brand, Zara, collab with the NGO to supervise with world product line, and the other is the Zara also said they want to cooperate with a different brand, a different NGO to hope to change the total fashion industry to be more sustainable industry in the future. Yeah, and the Lara also released their new collection, Joy Life, which is made with material like such as organic cotton and recycled wool. Yeah. So our second part is the trend evidence and analysis. We will focus on the material and some designer and brands which they devoted to develop the sustainable fashion. So as you can see, there are different brands campaigned about like the about sustainable fashion, and then this one is the how organic cotton, how they grow, and why it is organic, what is different between the usual cotton and the organic one. So the first part is about organic cotton. So organic cotton is one of the most popular sustainable fashion material and largely widely used by many fashion brands. So what is the advantage of using organic cotton? They can protect the surface of the ground and the groundwater, so they won't cause like the mud, like a mudslide or like flooding problem. Yeah, and in the long term, they can prevent of pests through the beneficial habit planting. Yeah, about conservation of biodiversity, they can create like a more friendly environment for our animals, insects, yeah, especially bees. Yeah, um, so the organic cotton also can eliminate the use of toxic chemical using cotton, because we usually use the toxic chemical to like dye cotton to make the like become the fiber. So using the organic cotton, we can use like more sustainable and eco-friendly way to produce our product. And the second one is the organic silk. Um, this organic silk, the very special part is they can create without any chemical treatment. So during the entire procedure, organic silk will use any chemical on their procedure. So it will be a free toxic product in the end. Uh, about the advantage of using organic silk, the first advantage is they can easily blend with other fibers, and the second is the resistant to dust and mold, and mold is very strong. So you know the air pollution is very serious in nowadays. So using this silk fiber, you can resist to like dust, moss, and keep you from the mm, inspire problem. Yeah. So it is very breathable and thermal fiber. So it is very good wear during the summer and also the winter. Yeah. It is also very good for the sensitive skin. So maybe some people will be allergic to some like bad air pollution. So this can prevent this situation happening. Yeah. And the third one is the regenerate fiber. The, the difference between the last two one and the with this regenerate fiber is this is a man-made fiber and now developing with less environmental impact and no toxic process during the total entire procedure. There are some some fiber you usually hear uh, like layer cell made from the wood pulp, usually anchor plugs, and the tencel has a good absorption and durable and wrinkle resistant. And soya have very natural properties and good absorbance and sunlight resistance. So man-made fiber, they are the advantage of a man-made fiber because it can easily made, but it still comes and have other problem. Yeah. Now we are changing to talk about the brand. The first brand we want to discuss is like HMM. Yeah. So you can see the HMM created a collection called Conscious. It's a very sustainable fashion product line. So they use the organic material and teach their customer that this special product line is made of the used by a sustainable way and the sustainable material. So the one part is that they are not just promoting their product; they want to teach their customer what is the correct idea of shopping, and also know the background story of their every product. And as this graph you can see, the sustainable cotton in total cotton use of H&M has been a very steady growth up during this year, from 2000 2011 you can see just 7.6%, and right now in 2016 is almost maybe 50%. And they want to before the 2020 they want to use total organic garden in their entire industry. Yeah. And H&M has been a very special. They recycled their garments to recycling as a recycled fiber in their new product. So recycled polyester is made for plastic bottle. 2015, H&M used more than 90 million bottles to make their new product. Since 2003, H&M have collected 22,000 tons of gold garment for reuse and recycle, and that is as much as 100 million t-shirts. And 94 wares in their warehouse is also being recycled. So you can see H&M is very dedicated in developing the sustainable way of becoming a sustainable fashion business model. And the other one I want to talk about is Patagonia. During the Thanksgiving this year, I noticed that Patagonia was going to donate the 100% of Black Friday sale into the environment problem. So Patagonia is also it's really not like a fashion brand; it's an outdoor brand, but it is the model every brand can learn from that, because we really dedicate in being a sustainable fashion business model, and also like a more eco-friendly. Yeah. So you can see this the advertisement in a few years ago. They said, "Don't buy this jacket. If you need it, just if you don't need it, don't buy this jacket." It is very clear statement that don't buy too much you don't really need. Yeah. So their brand mission is focused around the sustainability, and they even donate 1% of the time sales back to their environment. So every product you buy, they will donate 1% of their item to solve the environment problem. So Patagonia also has a recycle clothing problem, where you will replace your worn clothes item as well as face the pieces you have to keep you from the unneeded items. So it's very special, because many brands just encourage you to buy more and buy more new clothes, buy more new pants, new bags. But Patagonia just said, we can help you fix it. You don't need to buy a new one. We can do it for you. So it is a very, really special strategy for marketing, and I think they really dedicate in sustainable environment and being good for the environment. Yeah, it is very special from the luxury high-end brands such as Louis Vuitton, Dior. Yeah. And right now we are talking about fashion designer Alan Fisher. She said, Alan Fisher once expressed his opinion about sustainable fashion. She said, as a company, we ask ourselves, how long will this style last? Is a fabric sustainable? Does it cost too much? Will it sell? Is this constant balance between making things work for the business, the customer, and the environment? She relates his question about the sustainable fashion. Yeah. So as you can see, the mission of the Allen fiction, they focus on different three parts. First part is about the product, and the second part is about individual growth, and the third part is teamwork. And this three part represent a total different field. As you can see, about the product, they want to make clothes and design also more simple and more using more sustainable material in their design. And what is the individual growth? They want you some use apply passion and creativity skills genes to the work they do. And about the teamwork, they want people and all their work their employees work together to yeah, that's it. So what is the vision about Alan Fisher before the 2020? They take many different parts in her company. She's hoping to change the industry on human rights and sustainability. She's choosing to use this injustice as a reason to do things differently, as well as standing as one of the few companies changing their entire business plan to government sustainability. As you can see, the first one is the fiber. She wants their product, their fiber can form more ethical makeover, and they will use the wool from the sheep they are humanly raised on land and is sustainably managed. Yeah, and if you look is and they are taking the new look at the polyester. If it is recycled, they are going to use it. And about the colors, since 2009, they have been working with the Bluesign technology to shift their global dye houses toward responsible chemical, water, energy usage, and they are making progress. By 2020, roughly 30% of their product will be Bluesign certified. Yeah, but it is not all. They are want more. They are going to reach out to other brands and work together to create a demand for responsible dye and collaboration with the new industry or other industry. Yeah, and about resources. By 2050, the global economy is projected to consume 3 planets worth of resource annually. So they want to change this situation. They want to use less water, 25% less in the case of their Bluesign certified dye house in China, and emitting less carbon. And by 2020, they want to just be a carbon neutral. They will be a carbon. They will be carbon positive. About the people, their clothes are not just made by the machine only. They require the hands of thousands of workers. So for 10 years ago, they trained worker at their kids' barber in China. So they invest in them in alternative supply chain in Peru that pay a fair trade wage. We adopt their factory for companies with strict labor standards. Yeah. So about the map, they just want to didn't think would be too hard. However, they will visit a lot of like organic field and talk with the worker at the country factory. So yeah, they want to make their total procedure progress be more transparent. And about the reuse part, um, they start by designing their clothes. Hope they will design clothes that last longer. By 2020, they expect they can recycle total to 1 million pieces of clothes. So they're yeah, they just want to take more years to image the future who is West is a thing of the past. Yeah, and one also discuss the Stella McCartney, the very famous fashion designer in this part. Um, okay, as you can see, Stella usually use the like organic cotton and organic cotton. And first, I want to also introduce the who is Stella McCartney. She is an English fashion designer and the daughter of the Beatles member Paul McCartney. Stella McCartney was someone uh, who get engraved in the book of Eco-Fraction, and being also the vegetarian and environmentally conscious forward-thinking designer. She once said, "Love your clothes and make last longer." So don't buy the clothes that over what land you need. Yeah. Um, for the 2015, Stella McCartney also collaborated with the feature the Cleveland's logo and a simple reminder to consider the environment when washing the and the caring to garment. Yeah. So you can see many design about the Stella McCartney is very simple, and you can also notice like the material they use is very naturally. It's not like usually the chemical toss dyeing and on it. It's very natural. It just look very natural. Yeah, and the story of a sustainable Picasso is about Picasso is the key material for the brand and one of the most used fabric in the world. So Stan McKinney worked with their NGO partner, Canopy Planet, in order to protect forests from ending up in fabric like viscose. So she only not just dedicating the material or just the fashion industry. She also used her use her use her reputation and use her name or fame to want to change the whole industry, not just about the fashion. She also want to do more in for our environment. And she also used the regenerated cashmere, and this fabric has a 92 reduction in environmental impact when compared to virgin cashmere. Yeah, so it is very more eco-friendly way in by making a sweater. So about the celebrities promotion, you can see this is you can see Emma Watson. In 2020, Emma Watson launched her Feel Good Style site dedicated to sustainable fashion and natural beauty and help British fair trade brand people create three collection consisting of like organic and a fair trade clothing. Yeah. And one of the reasons that contribute to this fair trade is because it gives people to opportunity to help themselves out of poverty in a sustainable way. And you can see Meryl Streep were the eco-friendly gourmet at the 84th Oscar Academy Award. Yeah. So there are more and more celebrities or people or bloggers start to wear the sustainable fashion brand clothes. I think it's a very good sign to teach the common consumers that you can buy things, but buy it in a more sustainable way or more sustainable brand. It's very important. Yeah, to promote, also to promote, also to teach the customers. And our third part is about the trend forecast. About innovation, Bodega Veneta is not just won't use any chemical to their video product, and as we know, Bodega Veneta is very famous for this video good. And also, the Louis Vuitton and Burberry have made so many changes and improvement in their daily business, like eliminate the energy saving, the electricity, and the water waste in their daily business. And in this chart, as you can see, Korean Group, the company of Gucci and Bottega Veneta, estimate that the land and water usage and the carbon emission associated with producing the leather, brass, and line for one handbag. So they are counting their what it costs, not just about the material, also like the environmental cost, and also the cost of the part of the product. And yeah, so in the future, I believe more scientists will want to change and more develop on this three main part. The first part is organic cotton, because organic cotton is price is still very expensive. If we can find like more cheap way to produce organic cotton, it will be more widely used by the total fashion industry. And the second is organic fiber, because cotton is the material, but fiber is the total different thing. So how to change the cotton to become the fiber? You can buy more eco-friendly or more sustainable way, not using too much like toxic chemical, and hope use like maybe the uh, new way or more natural way. But maybe it costs much time or costs much money, but it is good for our environment. And also the certified dyeing, we that dye our clothes, our bags. We can use like traditional way. Maybe it is not like beautiful color as the chemical way, but it is also, I want to mention again, it is most sustainable way. Yeah, thank you very much. This is our presentation of Group 1. Thank you, Professor Doric. Thank you, peers. Hope you will enjoy this presentation. Thank you very much.